backing them in at the Prudential Center, where tonight number one's in town. Pittsburgh may have lost on Tuesday at Providence, but they still boast three of the top players in the country. Rebounding machine, DeJuan Blair. Floor general extraordinaire, Levance Fields. And the athletic and sometimes spectacular Sam Young. Seton Hall's never beaten a number one, but if they're going to make history, they're going to have to do it on the back of shooting star Jeremy Hazel, who averages more than 22 points per game. A Big East Saturday night special coming your way next. This is Big East basketball tonight from Newark, New Jersey at the Prudential Center. The number one team in the country, the Pittsburgh Panthers, taking on the Seton Hall Pirates. Getting late in the Big East as we get ready for New York City in the Big East tournament. And look at the jumble in the middle of this pack. What a great year in the Big East Conference. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dave Sims with John Celestan, and tonight we get a Pittsburgh ball club looking to bounce back. You figure they may be a little bit angry this evening.
Yeah, you know, Coach Dixon was very angry with the loss to Providence, so you know tonight they're going to come and try to redeem themselves against the Seton Hall Pirates.
Take a look at the Star Watch, and we get one of the best players in the country, DeJuan Blair and Jeremy Hazel for the Seton Hall Pirates.
Yeah, DeJuan Blair is just a bully in the paint, double-double monster, always gets it done scoring and rebounding the basketball. And Mr. Hazel has never met a shot he doesn't like. He can shoot it from anywhere on the court.
Pittsburgh, one of the better defensive teams in the country, will pay a lot of attention to him. It's senior night here in New Jersey, and the Seton Hall Pirates will be honoring Paul Gause. All he does is lead the Big East Conference in steals. He's one of the more tenacious performers you'll see in the Big East Conference. Starting lineups and the opening tip straight ahead right after this. Tonight's Big East game is brought to you by Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest. Welcome back, everybody. And John Celestan with you here in Newark, New Jersey. Big East tilt for you. Number one, Pittsburgh against Seton Hall. Take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's game. It'll be Fields, Dixon, Biggs, Young, and Blair. This is a talented, deep team for the Pittsburgh Panthers, coming off a loss the other night, Tuesday. Meanwhile, Seton Hall will have Harvey, Gause, and Hazel, a guard-oriented offense. They're giving up a lot of size. Robert Mitchell and John Garcia up front. Jamie Dixon, a very successful run in the Big East since taking over for Ben Howland. He's in his 6th year, 10th year at Pittsburgh, and the always energetic Bobby Gonzalez at Seton Hall in his 3rd year. He's pretty happy considering he only has 7 scholarship players. He's 6-9 in the Big East. That's quite an accomplishment. Referees Joe Lindsay, James Breeding, and Wally Rutecki. We are ready for action. Joe Lindsay gets it up in the air, and here's Pittsburgh on the attack first.
And you see Seton Hall already coming out with Paul Gause, the electrifying defender on Mr. Fields.
That's a heck of a matchup there. Sam Young has got Hazel on him. Shot clock down to 16 to go to Blair. Double team him. Gause knocked it away. Another steal for the Big East steal leader. In a hurry. Harvey down the lane. Runner goes glass. Can't get it. And it's knocked out of bounds. And looks like Garcia knocked it out of bounds. It'll be Pittsburgh ball.
You see already Gause doing what he does best, leading the Big East in steals. When you put that ball on the floor around Mr. Gause, you have to be careful. He is a thief.
Pittsburgh was number one for the 2nd time this season. About 36 hours before they suffered that loss at Providence on Tuesday. Wednesday, Seton Hall took out South Florida by 15. There's a grab. And it's on Gause, his first team first.
We're going to keep an eye on this matchup here. Levance Fields out of Brooklyn, New York. One of the more crafty point guards in the country.
And it seems like he's been there forever. 4-year player. Breakout. Harvey to Sticks Mitchell. Blocked. Foul on Jermaine Dixon.
And Dave, it's going to be interesting, these two styles. You know, Pittsburgh will run when they get the opportunity, but they're more of a grinded-out team, and Seton Hall would love to just get up and down, push the basketball, create some havoc on defense.
Robert Mitchell at the free throw line. 70% at the line. Seton Hall has not fared well against the #1 ranked team in the course of its long basketball history. Mitchell with a couple of free throws.
And if you're Coach Gonzalez, that's not the stat you want to see up on the screen, especially Pitt coming off a loss.
Big stat, too, as you look at this Pittsburgh ball club under Jamie Dixon. 28-9 after a loss. That's bouncing back in a big way. Very consistent.
That's telling you a coach that knows how to make adjustments.
Kicked out of bounds. It's going to be Pittsburgh ball. One thing to look for if you're just seeing Pitt for the first time, or maybe not seeing him in a long time. Sam Young, very athletic, and probably the best up fake, the best up ball fake in the country. Dixon finds Blair. Back to Fields. Deep three, straight on. Short. Put back. Young, tip, Biggs, no. Garcia had it, lost it. Young will shoot 2.
And you see Seton Hall switching defenses, going to the zone, but if you're Seton Hall, you have to find a way to box out. Pittsburgh, second in the conference in offensive rebounding. They pound the glass with a reckless abandon.
Zell with the foul, his first. Talking about the best rebounding team in the conference and one of the teams at the bottom in Seton Hall. So you better find a body, because if you're just standing around, there's going to be somebody coming from all angles to grab rebounds.
And the toughest time to rebound is when you're in a zone, trying to find guys. You have to box out an area, but with the big bodies that the Panthers have, it could be tough.
Sam Young gets the Panthers on the board. 2-2 ball game. Good matchup there. Jermaine Dixon on Hazel. Feed the post, knocked away. Pittsburgh basketball. Here comes Fields. Fields finds Biggs straight on 3. Short. Kept alive. And here comes Seton Hall. Hazel. Stops, pops, triple, no. And the rebound goes to Biggs. Knocked away. Harvey, and he knocked it off of Biggs' leg. Seton Hall basketball.
And that's just a nice play right there by Harvey. And you knew Hazel was going to get one up. I was waiting to hear us call his name. You see, right here, he brings it down. The little strip right there by Harvey off the leg.
Gauze was more of a scorer in high school. Turned it over there. Here comes Dixon the other way. Dixon down the lane, dipped his shoulder, and to get a blocking foul on Gauze.
And that's going to be big, because that may be Gauze's second.
So Gauze's second foul. And not a good sign for Seton Hall. It comes at the 17:42 mark.
You see right here, still moving his feet, trying to get in position, but sliding. Have to establish yourself, and not a smart play by Gauze, knowing that you already have that first foul. They're going to need him in the game to be able to control Levance Fields.
Senior night, fired up as you might expect. Here's the lefty Dixon at the line. Jermaine out of Baltimore, Maryland, and Gauze. That's a big turn of events here for Seton Hall. Gauze has to sit with 2 fouls, and that's just what 2 minutes and 28 seconds in.
And Coach Gonzalez is going to bring in Jordan Theodore, a freshman that he's really high on out of Patterson Catholic, right here in New Jersey.
2:18 in. Big change of events here for Seton Hall. Pittsburgh by a bucket. Hazel, the #2 scorer in the conference behind Luke Herringody. Blocking. Oh, that's not good, with Blair reaching for that left knee. And that's not good at all, because this Pittsburgh team expected to get at least to the Sweet 16 if everybody stays healthy. That's not a good sign.
Well, I think he's going to be okay. I think it was more of a bump or a knee to the knee, which is very painful. Let's check it out right here. Off the pick and roll, and not a good angle, but I think it's just a knee to the inner thigh or to the knee, which really, right there, oh yeah, that's going to hurt tomorrow. That's going to hurt tomorrow.
He's not faring well right now either. 4-2 Pittsburgh. Not what they had in mind here. They're going to bring Gilbert Brown off the bench. DeJuan Blair having a spectacular year. Big East Player of the Year candidate. 15 points, 12 rebounds. He's got 17 double-doubles on the season. Twice he's gone for 20-20s. And you saw him vigorously outplay Hashim Thabit a couple of Mondays ago at Pittsburgh, where he went for 23 rebounds. And this young man can really get it done in the paint. A good start local. Kid from Shenley High School, right down there, pretty much just off campus in Pittsburgh.
And they say DeJuan Blair, when he was being recruited by Pitt, says, hey, I know the campus better than a lot of the assistant coaches. Local guy.
So that's happening at the 17:21 mark. DeJuan Blair goes out with a knee injury. Hopefully he'll be back. Theodore over to Harvey. Body's going down all over the place. Hazel, quick trigger pop is good for three.
And if you haven't seen Hazel play, you can't give him a minute or even an inch to pull a shot.
Brown on the attack. Knocked out of bounds out on Harvey. 5-4 Seton Hall.
You see right here, you give Hazel a little bit of room, a little bit of opening. Right there, he will let it fly, and he can stroke them with the best of them in the Big East.
Coming off the inbound, Dixon, no rebound, goes to Sticks Mitchell. Here comes Harvey the other way. Mitchell had Garcia momentarily, couldn't get it to him. Now they go feed the post. Garcia drops that fade, no rebound, goes to Dixon. He's got Fields on his right. Nice stop. Still hasn't been able to hit, but Biggs gets the rebound.
And neither team really in an offensive rhythm early on. Both teams doing a good job on the defensive end.
Pittsburgh off to an awful start from the field. 0 for 6. Fields with 17. Moving around. Brown steps into the shot from the right side, and it's good.
And that's a nice shot right there by Brown. Not scoring a whole lot, but does a lot of little things. Athletic, gets out in transition, shows you the mid-range game right there.
Here's Theodore. They try to turn him back. Mitchell trying to break his man down. Turned away, spin, finds it, and beats Sam Young down low.
Sticks Mitchell out of Brooklyn. He can score as well. Playing the 4, a little undersized.
They set up Biggs for the baseline jumper. It's good. Tyrell Biggs out of Nanuet, New York. Not too far from here. Just up a little bit north of the George Washington Bridge. Hazel in the front of Jamie Dixon. 8-7 Pittsburgh. Garcia down low. Blew the layup. Here comes Pittsburgh.
And the big fella's got to finish that one. In a game against the #1 team in the country, you have to make those chippies.
Young is now heating up. Pittsburgh's hit its last 3 from the field after going 0 for 6. So Sam Young's on the board with his first field goal, the junior from Clinton, Maryland. Harvey, runner, no! Second time down low, they get nothing. Back the other way, Dixon, Sam Young. Get a transfer next time.
NJ Transit right there, New Jersey.
So Sam Young will go to the line when we return. Fouls on Garcia, his first. Slow start for the Panthers. They start to find their range. #1 team in the country, 10-7. Pittsburgh still #1 this week, 10-7 over Seton Hall. Glad you could join us, everybody. Dave Sims, John Celistan, and the Big East crew. DeJuan Blair, everybody back in Pittsburgh. I know you're concerned. Here's how he got hurt at the 17:21 mark here in the first half. And the collision, knee on knee, it appeared. And DeJuan is back on the bench right now. He went out and he has subsequently returned. Injuries certainly have played a big part in some fortunes for some teams this week. First of all, Big East headlines. Pittsburgh loses at Providence. We talked about that. Jim Calhoun picked up career victory number 800. And then Dominique James in that game against UConn, he broke his foot. I haven't felt so badly for a young man in a long time. I mean, that's what those 3 senior players with Jerome McNeil and Wesley Matthews, 3 of the best, maybe the best trio in the league. A dangerous ball club. And now Marquette is severely injured with that loss to James.
And you hate to see something like that. A guy in his senior year, James, has been around for 4 years. He's always done the right thing, been a tremendous player, and to go out that way is just a shame.
Sam Young, top scorer for the Panthers. 18 points a game. He's hit the most threes on the ball club as well. Moving up quickly in that Pitt all-time scoring list.
And I like Sam Young. I think he may be the coolest player in the league. Never sweats, just gets it done. He's very efficient. Strong body.
12-7 lead, biggest lead enjoyed by either team so far tonight. Here's Seton, and he's guarded by Brad Wanamaker now. Tries to get by down the lane, headed knocked away. Man ahead of the pack is Brown off the feet from Field. Two-hand hammer.
And let me tell you something, Brown can fly with the best of them. If he gets out on the break, you better get out the way because he will punch it on your head.
So the Panthers started out 0 for 6. They're on fire right now, an 8-0 run. Mike Davis in the game now, up front for Seton Hall, number 13. Mitchell with some space, rolls it around the rim and in.
And that's the one thing about Sticks Mitchell, playing the 4. He can face up. He's a matchup problem for a lot of guys. Undersized, banging against the big guys in the Big East. Tremendous heart.
7 points already for Mitchell. Wanamaker, Young, Brown, Biggs, and Fields, and Sam Young turn around face-up jumper at the foul line.
And if you're Seton Hall, you have to find a way to stop Young from getting the ball right in the middle. If he catches that ball on the foul line, it's pretty much automatic.
16-10 Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh 0 for 6 start. Have been 5 for 5 since. And a foul on the Panthers. Fields picks up the foul. That'll be his first. Golf fans and club pros, registration for the 2009 ESPN National Golf Challenge is already underway for courses and teams in the gross, net, and new 55 and older senior division. For more information, log on to ESPNGolf.com. Dwan Blair is back. That's good to see for Pittsburgh. Ashton Gibbs is in. He's got about 100 tickets out here. He's from West Orange, New Jersey. Paul Gauze is back for Seton Hall.
Ashton Gibbs, a local guy out of Seton Hall Prep, same high school as assistant coach Brandon Knight for Pittsburgh.
Full court pressure. Boy, getting by with ease is Wanamaker. Goes to Sam Young. Ashton Gibbs will run the point as Fields gets a break.
You see Seton Hall here in this 2-3 zone. Pittsburgh has to find a way to continue to get that ball to the foul line. And you see Blair right there, back in the ball game.
Sam Young turns and face again, and he hits. Sam Young makes it 20-12.
And we don't want to belabor it, but just a good job of putting Young at that foul line area where he can catch and make good decisions.
Got ahead of myself there, 18-12, Sam Young, 10 points. Gets a pick, goes Mitchell. On Blair, gets by him, puts it off the glass and in. Had to shoot it over his own man, Garcia. He's got 9.
And talking to Coach Gonzalez, said he was very surprised. Knew Sticks Mitchell was a big-time player, but didn't know he'd be scoring 14 a game. Has really filled in with the loss of Lang last year.
Gibbs straight on jumper, back rim. Kept alive. Blair gets a tip from Hazel. Jump hook, no good. Oh, baby, right there. Gilbert Brown with the follow.
Brown flying out of nowhere on that one.
He's got 6 off the bench. Talking to Bobby Gonzalez earlier this afternoon, concerned about the might and the heft of the seat of the Pittsburgh club up front. And knowing that, he said, listen, we're going to be in a battle. We're going to be emotional tonight at senior night. But the fact that you got a Pittsburgh club coming off a loss and they're so big and so talented is going to be very difficult. And he's seeing that right now. A lot of action here going on in the front court by Pittsburgh. The Panthers lead it by 6. Back here in Newark, New Jersey at the Prudential Center. Pittsburgh, the #1 team in the country with a 20-14 lead. And John, the number 23, a wild number tonight. Sam Young or Robert Mitchell.
Well, we know that's a big-time number. And you see Sam Young just catching the ball at the foul line every time and just turning and firing, and it's been money all night. And Sticks Mitchell, he's been doing it a little bit different. He's been shaking and baking and trying to use the bounce to get to the rim. You see the nice little move right here, keeps his pivot foot, and he's taking it off the bounce, and he can also stroke the three-pointer, so he's been getting it done as well.
Pittsburgh has won 8 of their last 11 matchups against Seton Hall. Sam Young, 10 points. Robert Mitchell with 9. Last meeting, January of a year ago, 84-70 in Pittsburgh. Wanamaker. And that went off of Eugene Harvey. It's going to be Pittsburgh basketball.
And I think Wanamaker should have kept that one right there and taken the layup.
The inbounds, Wanamaker, tough shot, shot it long, body's flying. There's a rebound. Buddy was on the baseline. Goes to Harvey.
Harvey says, hey, my back's in the air. I'm not on the line. Wrong place, wrong time right there.
Tried to plead his case. No avail. Offensive rebounding, no surprise. Pitt 7, none for Seton Hall. Lair too strong, kept alive by Young, knocked out of bounds though.
And let's see right here, Harvey gets a present right here, and I don't know about that one.
Very solid case.
I don't know about that one.
Hazel trying to shake free. Back to Mitchell. Those are your 2 offensive threats for Seton Hall. Mitchell and Hazel from a long way out. Mitchell fires and hits. Having a good night. Sticks Mitchell, he's got 11, and that leads all scorers.
And that's just a nice way to use the pick and roll right there with the stop and pop. Mid-range jumper. Sticks Mitchell showing you his versatility tonight.
Pittsburgh 25-3. They go down low to Blair. Diagonal pass outside. Gibbs missed it. Blair had it and lost it. He's #1 rebounder in the Big East. Couldn't come up with that one.
And you have to wonder a little bit if the injury's bothering Blair right now. Doesn't seem to have the same spring. Right here, he just normally snatches this, and he's going back up. Maybe a little ginger on that knee. Moving a little gingerly, I should say, on that knee right now.
Terrell Biggs is in for Sam Young. Levance Fields back in. He picks up Ashton Gibbs. And Jermaine Dixon back in as well. We're told that it was an ankle problem for Blair, not the knee. So, to your point, in terms of not having that explosiveness in that last possession, Hazel, wow! Little fadeaway 3. Tried to draw a foul call on that. 1-point game. Wide open. He'll tee it up. That's a 3. Count it.
And this is what Seton Hall wants to do. They want to pressure you. They want to turn you over. Tied for first in the league in steals.
Look at Bobby Gonzalez. Comes all the way out to midcourt. He is something else. 8-0 run by Seton Hall against the #1 team. What a sequence here, John.
I mean, Seton Hall really likes to steal the basketball, but you see right here, Hazel can shoot it from anywhere on the court. You give him an inch, he's going to let it fly. And right here, they get the steal on the pressure. And then you leave the guy who just knocked one down open again. You can best believe that's money in the bank.
So Pittsburgh has seen the Pirates get right back in this game. The Seton Hall Pirates, that is. Seton Hall 4-5 from 3-point range. Pitt 0 for 4. Pittsburgh, the #3 team in 3-point percentage by Notre Dame and Connecticut. And Seton Hall 10th. And now a 2-point advantage for the Hall.
And Dave, that may be the first time I've ever seen a coach come running on the court like Coach Gonzalez. One of the more energetic coaches in the Big East Conference.
Right into a trap. It's a steal. Harvey back out to Hazel. He's got range again. In and out. Turns it over. Here comes Fields. Fields turns the corner on Gauze. He's playing with 2 fouls. Nice shake by Levance Fields. Amped up Seton Hall ball club right now, battling #1, 22-20 lead. It's a Wanamaker. High post Biggs. That's a vulnerable spot in the zone, and he hits.
And that's been the spot right there that Seton Hall has been killed. That foul line area. Pittsburgh, Biggs can face up and shoot it as well.
4 points for Biggs. Scores tied at 22. Mitchell high post. He can shoot it from there and lets it fly. It's a 2, and Robert sticks Mitchell. Wow. He's got 13 points. He's had a lot of clean looks, John.
Oh, yeah. Sticks sticking the jumper today. Uh-oh.
More chaos. Restolen. Blair. Down the lane. Dixon, lefty going left. Gets a layup.
And just nice patience right there by Blair. He could have turned around and took that shot. But saw Dixon cutting down the lane for the 2.
4 points for Dixon tonight. Feed Garcia down low. Goes opposite to Mitchell. Dawes turns a corner. Finds Hazel with the stroke. And they let him play on. Saw contact down there. Wanamaker finds Fields. Bobbles. Hazel made that happen. Seton Hall takes over again. And a foul on Wanamaker. So Pittsburgh trying to find itself again. This coming after the loss at Providence on Tuesday. And Seton Hall coming out here saying, hey, we want a piece of that action that Providence got.
And Pittsburgh usually pretty short-handed with the basketball. They don't commit a lot of turnovers. But Seton Hall is the type of team that gets out. They gamble a lot. They reach. Second in the conference in steals. Actually, first, I should say, tied for first.
Glad you could join us here for Big East basketball from Newark, New Jersey at the Prudential Center. Dave Sims, John Celestin, and the Big East crew. Seton Hall putting up a real good battle here in the first half. Nice save by Dixon. 24 all is the score. Pittsburgh's turned it over 7 times already. A ball club that averages just under 12. Biggs dials a 3. Nothing doing. Rebound Mitchell.
And we haven't seen much from Harvey in this game. Been deferring to Sticks, Mitchell, and Hazel, but I think Harvey is going to be key with Seton Hall. And right there with the
shake. Leads it for Garcia. Hurts. 26-24. Eugene Harvey fired up.
I mean, you talk about putting your defender on skates. Man.
Wanamaker to Fields. Bobby Gonzalez is practically on the floor. Wanamaker goes cross court. Dixon. High post Sam Young, and he turned it over that time. He's got the best up fake. He said he really leaves his feet. He has a great upper body, and it gets defenders in the air, but that time he turns it over. 2-point lead for Seton Hall. And Harvey this time showing what he can do. An ankle break and move down the lane. Sets up Garcia. It's the Hall leading number 1 Pittsburgh. Number 1 Pittsburgh being challenged by Seton Hall here in Newark, New Jersey. The Hall by 2. A few nights ago in Providence, it was senior night, and the Panthers went down to defeat. Paul Gauze, the only senior player on the Seton Hall team. John, talk about the emotions of senior night.
Yeah, senior night is huge because a lot of guys are playing at home for possibly the last time. You know, I remember back in '99 we played St. John's. They were 6th in the country. Ron Artest, Tyrone Grant, Bootsy Thornton, those guys came to town and we knocked them off. Off simply emotion, you know, so it's big time, and guys are looking to come in and get a victory. They don't want to go out with the L.
Here's Hazel off the curl. He hit the 3, and keep in mind, DeJuan Blair just went back to the locker room. 12 points on 3s by Hazel, and now a 5-point lead for the Hall, the biggest of the evening. Sam Young, straight on 3 unchallenged. Rebound Biggs. Biggs down low, laying up left hand. Knocked out by Garcia. Saved back by Hazel. What a move as the ball hit off the referee. Here's Harvey back the other way. Changing direction. Down the lane. It turns it over. He's got Fields ahead of the pack. Nobody home. He'll lay it up and in.
Up and down action here in the Big East Conference.
Just the kind of game Seton Hall wants to play. Frenetic. post. Young gamble. Almost got it away from his opposite 23. Theodore with 15 on the shot clock. Coming up on 6 minutes to go. Alley-oop. Hazel. He blew it. He was right at the basket.
And I think Hazel has to go up and hammer that one home.
Wanamaker for 3 hits. Nice setup by Fields. Scores tied at 29.
And if you're Coach Gonzalez, that kills you right there, because Hazel had a wide open dunk. And then you miss the 2 and you come down and Wanamaker knocks down that 3. That really hurts you.
5-point swing, that's a killer. And you got your best shooter right at the basket.
I don't think
he can't convert.
I think Hazel, I don't think he believed he was that wide open on that alley-oop right there. He couldn't believe it.
Regular season wraps up next Saturday on the Big East Television Network. Syracuse Orange travel to face the 10th-ranked Marquette Golden Eagles. Game time 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 Central. Check your local listings. That's next Saturday, Syracuse and 10th-ranked Marquette. Game time is 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. Check your local listings. Saw Syracuse on Tuesday night in Madison Square Garden against St. John's, and they had everything going. They shot the ball. They rebounded. Their bigs played well. It was a well-rounded game by the Syracuse Orange.
When you talk about guard play, I love watching Johnny Flynn.
Well, he put on a show.
Oh, yeah.
He really put on a show.
Yeah.
We had an ankle-breaking move here. He did at least 2 back at the Garden on Tuesday. Here's a look at the top 8 in the Big East, and Syracuse making a bid. 8-7 in the conference. Talking to Jim Boeheim before the game, he says, listen, I think we're in. Just a matter of staying where we are. Foul off the ball.
And I would agree with Jim Boeheim. They have some good wins on their resume, especially that big win over Memphis earlier in the year.
They beat Florida as well. 2 fouls on the second foul on Levance Fields. He'll take a seat. And coming in, Ashton Gibbs to get him. 5:31 to go. Number 1, Pittsburgh. Being challenged big time here by Seton Hall. Mitchell and Hazel, 21 and 23, carrying the load. Mitchell with room, got partially blocked. Biggs got a piece of it. Here comes Pittsburgh. Into the corner, jump shot. No good by Gibbs. Ahead to Hazel, nobody back. Pull up 3, wide right, just barely got some rim.
And right there, tough shot by Hazel. You have one guy backpedaling. I think you may want to attack him, take him to the rim. There's no help on the backside.
Juan Blair is back. They come in for Terrell Biggs.
And I guess we want to keep an eye on Blair with that ankle to see if he's laboring. Not really looking like himself since the injury.
4 points for Biggs. Stepping in for the short jumper. Wanamaker tip by Blair, and Gauze has got it. Gauze able to get it into the front court. Under 5 to play here in the first half. Theodore down the lane, lost it. He got fouled. So Pittsburgh had a 6-point lead. And Seton Hall's led by 5. Scores tied at 29 right now with 4:34 to go.
And that's the thing about this Big East Conference. I mean, Pittsburgh, the #1 team in the country, but Seton Hall doesn't look afraid at all. And in this conference, you are going up against top 10 teams night in and night out.
Mitchell runner. Blair comes down with the board. Sam Young trying to take advantage. Palming violation. Trying to take advantage of Gauze. He's going to use that height advantage. That's 9 turnovers now for the Panthers.
And Young trying to back Gauze in. Not sure if you want to play with the ball in front of Gauze. Nice move, but the ref calling the carry. I always thought the carry was a tough call to make because so many guys carry the basketball on every possession.
Mitchell sends Gauze a 3-ball from there. No good. Rebound Sam Young. Gilbert Brown up top to Young. There's that up fake. Oh, nice. Got him again for the carrying violation. Second time in a row Sam Young has done that. 10 turnovers for Pittsburgh. Scores tied at 29. 3:54 to go. First half in New Jersey. 29 all. Pittsburgh and Seton Hall. As we take a look at Jeremy Hazel for the Seton Hall Pirates. Dan?
Well, Hazel's not one of the leading scorers in the conference for no reason. I mean, he can shoot from anywhere on the court, and he loves to shoot that jumper. So you give him a little bit of space. He moves well without the basketball, and he can knock it down from three all day long. And he's lighting it up today again. Mr. Hazel stroking the basketball.
12 for Hazel, 13 for Mitchell. They're leading the way for the Pirates of Seton Hall.
You see already 4 for 9 from the field. He's already hit 4 3-pointers, 4 for 8.
Those were his first 4 buckets. In fact, they ran a backdoor cut for him, and he pulled a layup.
And he hit 4 for 9 against USF, so he will let it fly. And check this stat out. Pittsburgh already 10 turnovers. They average about 11 a game. 10 already in the first half.
Trying to get it to Garcia up top. Hazel gets a screen from Garcia, and the rebound goes to Gilbert Brown. Backcourt, no question about it. He lost track of where he was.
And Hazel doing a good job at pressuring him right across the half-court line. A lot of guys get lost sometimes in that logo, not seeing the line.
Seton Hall now trying to rebound after missing its last 6 shots. 29 all ball game. Down low, Garcia got a step. Nice feed by Theodore. So Garcia on the board. He's got 4. Seton Hall back on top.
And that was a great cross screen for Garcia. Found him a gift.
Sam Young. 4 ties, 6 lead changes. Turnover. Pittsburgh's turned it over again. They're not sharp. That's 12 turnovers. And there's still 3:07 to go here in the first half. Fields will return, as will Brad Wanamaker. Brown and Gibbs will take a seat.
And the thing about Seton Hall is that they're going to constantly pressure you. As you see the 12 turnovers tonight, they're looking for steals. They want to play up tempo. They want to get in your face. And they're going to compete. Even in their losses in the Big East, they're in a lot of these basketball games.
Hazel runs baseline and get free. Mitchell back to Hazel. Guarded by Sam Young. 16 shot clock. Couldn't shake their 2 best shooters free. Harvey's capable shooter and scorer. Theodore launches and shoots an air ball. Fields gets by him. Nice cut. Dixon lay it up and in.
Nice pass, and Dixon hang gliding in the air right there for the finish.
So that is the 5th tie. Go against 6 lead changes. Mitchell down low, and that one turned over. Here comes Pittsburgh. They got numbers. Wanamaker went into high gear. It went off of his leg. It did. It's Seton Hall ball. Paul Gause will come back for Seton Hall. He'll replace Jordan Theodore.
He's very uncharacteristic. A lot of these turnovers for Pittsburgh. In transition on the break. Pressure starting to wear down the Panthers.
Harvey over to Gause now to start the offense. Mitchell up top. Eugene Harvey matched up against Pittsburgh point guard Vance Fields. Gause down low. Nice cut. Jump hook. No. One-hand rebound by Sam Young. 31 all, under 2 to play. Coming up in a minute and a half. Fields. Nice ball fake by Wanamaker. And drills a 3.
And that's a big-time shot by Wanamaker. And like you said, Dave, a great ball fake to get the defender off him. And
he looked at Bobby Gonzalez. They just smiled at each other. 34-31. Hazel off a deep curl, got hit. Nothing doing there. Young rebounds. And a foul by Mitchell. Tonight's game is being produced and distributed by ESPN Regional Television Incorporated. So that foul on Mitchell, and that's his first.
Seton Hall is going to sit in the 2-3 and see if They can force Pittsburgh to shoot from the outside.
Minute to go, inside a minute to go here in the first half. 5 team fouls for the Hall, 6 for Pittsburgh. Pitt's next foul will get the Hall at the line. 1-1.
And you would think Pittsburgh coming off a loss to Providence, a lot of people really thought that Pitt was going to come in here and run over Seton Hall. And another turnover.
3-second violation. So for Pittsburgh, that's the 13th turnover, and there's 45.4 seconds remaining. Quickly in Ashton Gibbs for Fields. Levant's playing with 2 fouls. Tyro Biggs is back in. We get Blair. He's got the ankle. You can see he's noticeably limping.
And the Panthers look a little lethargic. Just not a lot of energy, not a lot of emotion out here on the court. And Seton Hall just looks like the team a little more hungry right now.
Hit by 3. Mitchell to Gauze. Feed Garcia. They double team him. They find Mitchell underneath. He bobbled, turned it over, and out of bounds on Garcia. That pass a little bit didn't have a whole lot of clearance there. Margin of error trying to grab a pass in those tight quarters is tough. So Lamance Fields is back in. Pittsburgh by 3 with the basketball with 22-1 left on the clock.
You can best believe they're going to put the ball in the general's hands. Maybe a clear out or a pick and roll up top. But maybe not with Seton Hall in this 2-3 zone.
Vulnerable spot has been a high post with Sam Young. 6 seconds to go. They'll turn and face. Fade away, and he hits Sam Young.
Did you call it, Dave?
That's been the open spot the entire half. Pittsburgh with a 7-0 run to end the half. 36-31. Pittsburgh, the #1 team in the country for a few more days. You think that Connecticut will probably move up in the next spot. But DeJuan Blair been held scoreless. He had an ankle injury. But a good half nonetheless for Seton Hall. Sam Young with a big bucket gives Pittsburgh a 5-point lead at halftime. That's been the open spot the entire first 20 minutes. Halftime coming your way right after this. Cheers.
Very entertaining first half at the Rock as we welcome you back inside our Midtown studios. Gary Apple sitting alongside Tim Welsh and Charles Smith. It is the Harris halftime report. Back and forth game in that opening half. And who would have thought that Pittsburgh would have a 5-point lead at the half, having, well, their big guy, DeJuan Blair, ineffective. No points and 2 rebounds. He got hurt. Take us through what happened there, Timmy.
Well, he showed out on a pick and roll, and he bumped knees. But obviously, you know, injuries, foul trouble, you know, whatever it is, Pitt shows hard on pick and roll. He went down. I mean, he's going to be sore all night long. He may not be himself all night long. So this is a good test for Pittsburgh if they can play without DeJuan Blair. And so far, they have no points, and they have the lead. So, you know, they've had some experience with him in foul trouble and losing games. Tonight, they're tested again.
He was in the locker room, came out of the locker room, tried to play, but he's been pretty much ineffective so far. We saw him collide there. I think it was Jeremy Hazel that got him. And so without him, Pitt has been able to hold their head up very high. They had a bunch of guys contribute, including a Gilbert Brown off the bench.
Well, Pittsburgh has a very good bench. Dixon, Brown, they've always contributed coming off the bench. And obviously, with Gilbert in the lineup, that gives them more of a fast break team, a fast break presence, and he showed that.
Sam Young also doing a nice job. And there's Brown again, and the guy can get off the floor and finish. He had 6 points in that opening half. But Seton Hall led for much of the first half thanks to Sticks Mitchell and, well, of course, Jeremy Hazel.
Well, Jeremy Hazel did a nice job of getting loose screens, against the zone, and then finding himself on the baseline. And then off their turnovers, Pitt turned the ball over tonight, and Seton Hall quickly ran out either transition baskets or spotted up to 3 off their three-quarter court press.
That's Hazel. He had a dozen in that opening half. Mitchell had 13 points. He led Seton Hall, and then it was Sam Young who had a dozen to lead Pittsburgh as they lead 36-31 at the break. Looking to bounce back from that loss to Providence. They certainly don't want to lose 2 consecutive. We know they're not going to be #1. 1 come Monday. Connecticut most likely going to ascend to the top spot, but Pitt looking to get back on track. Big day in the Big East. Georgetown looking for a win at Villanova that would go a long way towards improving the Hoyas' chances of a possible berth in the NCAA tournament. Highlights coming when we come back. It's time for our principal financial edge, and Charles Smith, Gilbert Brown doing it off the bench.
Well, Gilbert Brown has done it off the bench, and with their scouting reports with the other teams, when he gets on the floor, they know about him, and he is one to watch.
Man can go up, and away. He's got 6 points in that opening half. In fact, they got solid play off the bench. They got 12 points from their bench in that first half.
Well, they need to. They need to find a way to win and play with the lead with DeJuan Blair, either in foul trouble or tonight with the injury.
Pittsburgh by 5 at the break over Seton Hall. Let's check in on St. John's and DePaul together today in the Windy City, and this one was on SNY. Seton Hall down by 5 at the break after leading for much of that first half. Is that demoralizing? They led for much of the first half. They played well, and they're still losing.
Well, you know, we said at the top of the pregame show that Seton Hall was going to compete, but Pitt is a tough matchup for them, and they probably will come up with a L, but they're going to compete and play hard.
They got out-rebounded 22-6 in that first half. If not for Robert Mitchell, they'd be in big trouble, but he was very good.
Well, Sticks Mitchell, he's a scorer. That's what he does. And Pitt doesn't play that in-your-chest tough defense that they have in the past. They didn't show it the other night at Providence. Tonight in the first half, they let guys get loose. They turned the ball over. Pitt's still not in sync yet. Seton Hall, watch out. They could make a run in the second half.
Mitchell had 13 points, as I said, in that opening half, 5 of 8 shooting as a team. Seton Hall shot it better from three-point land than they did from just the perimeter in general. They shot 41% from downtown and 39% overall. So it's a 5-point game at the half. Seton Hall playing hard. Pittsburgh trying to deal with, DeJuan Blair not at his best. We'll see how it shakes down in the second half for Tim and Charles. I'm Gary Apple. Thanks for joining us here on the Harris Halftime Report. We'll see you on our post-game broadcast here on SNY. Enjoy the second half, everybody.
High energy here in Newark. 36-31 Pittsburgh on top of Seton Hall. Take a look at our PNC first half highlights. Number 1 really got challenged here, John.
Yeah, and early on, you know, DeJuan Blair gets hurt right here, hedging on the pick, and hurts the knee, which has really slowed him down in the first half. So other guys had to pick up the slack. You see Sam Young's been catching the ball at the foul line and really hurting that Seton Hall zone. And he has the most lethal shot fake in the business in the Big East Conference right there, showing you that he can stroke it. But for Seton Hall, it's been all Sticks Mitchell off the pull-up, showing you he can use the pick and roll. He's also showing you that he can face up. And Hazel knocking down three-pointers all day. And then right back at you again, 2 in a row. Hazel can fill it up really quickly.
Some serious range in those 2 shooters. We've got 4 new players joining in next year. They only lose Paul Gauze. They bring some size in next year. They'll have Mitchell and Hazel on the outside. They'll have some Big East beef up front. So Seton Hall, Bobby Gonzalez said, hey, this will be a markedly different team a year from now. Mitchell misses the first shot. And here comes Pittsburgh.
And Seton Hall has some big-time transfers coming in next year, too.
Dixon, a little short, rebound, quick outlet. Ahead of the pack, nicely done, Hazel layup.
And that's a beautiful way to run the break. Just get the ball up the floor. A lot of guys dribble it a little too much. Pass it up the floor. Always quicker than the bounce.
Fields, Dixon, Biggs, Blair, and Young for the Panthers. Oh, boy, the second guy caught it. Knocked it off. That goes off of Young's leg. That ball threaded its way past Biggs to Young, and then Mitchell knocked it away.
And Seton Hall just looks quicker to the basketball. They swarm to the basketball on defense. On offense, they're getting out a little bit quicker.
Down low to Garcia. No cutters. He'll take it himself. Wheels with the left hand, and he got it. How about this?
And Garcia has a soft touch around the basket. The big fella has been getting it done this year. And Seton Hall.
Garcia with 6 points. And a foul on Robert Mitchell. That'll be his second.
You see him right here taking his time. He's a big body in there, showing you their little lefty baby hook. And Seton Hall has come out here in the second half still showing more energy than the Pittsburgh Panthers.
A little amped up. Fields beats pressure down the lane. Lay it up left hand. Blow the layup. Here comes Seton Hall. They can take the lead on this possession right here. Gauze, not a score. They're going to look to get it to Hazel or Sticks Mitchell again. Bobby Gonzalez with the play call. Just underway here, second half. Seton Hall comes in after a Wednesday win here at the Rock. They beat South Florida. Wide open Mitchell. 3-ball. No good. Rebound Blair. The rebounding in the first half. 25-8 Pittsburgh over Seton Hall. Fields took it as deep as he could. Gives it to Biggs. He'll pop a 3, and that's a big one.
And Biggs can hit that. Biggs can hit that face-up three-pointer. He's knocking down at about a 41% clip this year.
7 points for Biggs. 4-point advantage. Here's Hazel off the deep curl. Nothing there. Blair comes up with the rebound and bring it himself. Knocked out of bounds by Hazel.
You just see little things. The balls are getting tipped. Seton Hall knocking the ball out of bounds. Seton Hall getting their hands on passes. Seton Hall hustling. And I think the referee giving Coach Gonzalez a little bit of a warning to stay in that coach's box.
So Fields plays catch now. Here's Blair, turn, faces, double team. Gauze almost got a piece. They do get a piece. Numbers 3-on-1. Gauze going all the way in, lays it up. How about this? 39-37 Pittsburgh.
And you got to have your hand on your wallet when you're around Paul Gauze. I mean, he can pick your pocket with the best of them.
3 steals a game. Top steal guy in the Big East Conference. Down low, Blair powers up and scores. That's his first bucket. It comes at 17:03. Can you believe that? Of the second half. First points for Blair. Just joining us, suffered a knee injury. Played only 12 minutes in the first half. He's back, knocked away, stole it. Not a good entry pass. Pitt with numbers. Nice give. Young, lay it up, score the goal.
Oh, man. Tremendous pass by Levance Fields. Nice little shovel action.
So Sam Young with another bucket. 43-37 Panthers. 14 points for Sam Young.
I mean, check out the look away right there. The little underhand shovel pass. A little mustard on it.
He did a great job filling the lane. 3-point play by Sam Young, top scorer for the Panthers, 7th in the conference. So the foul is on Mitchell. That'll be his 3rd.
You have to keep an eye on that, because if Sticks Mitchell goes out of the game, he's been one of their top scorers today.
2 team fouls. Seton Hall, none for Pittsburgh here in the second half. 3.5 in. Panthers have a 7-point lead. Biggest lead. Gauze, a lefty going left, banks it off.
Now explain to me how he made that shot. Acrobatic lefty shot off the glass. Look out.
Dixon, 3-point opportunity. Garcia fouled him. And Blair with the bucket. He's got 2 in the last couple of possessions here.
A little hesitation right there with the left hand by Gauze, but then look out, here comes the train.
He got 2 buckets in the last 46 seconds. So Blair starting to find his game now. Go on at 60% at the free throw line. He's got an unusual rotation. And this lead now, 47-39, 8 points. Biggest lead enjoyed by the Panthers so far here in Newark. Hazel being guarded by Dixon. Gets it over to Harvey. Harvey's not looked for a shot. He's a capable scorer. Here's Gauze for 3. Rebound Blair. Panthers, here's an outlet. Stolen by Gauze. Knocked away by Gauze. He read that nicely. Read that like a free safety. Read it almost like Troy Polamalu back in Pittsburgh. Take a timeout. Back to Jersey in a moment. 8-point Pittsburgh Panther lead over the Seton Hall Pirates here in Newark, New Jersey. And all season long, Champion Apparel will be showcasing the tradition and history of the Big East Conference. Tonight we take a look at March 3rd, 2006. Seton Hall against Pittsburgh. It's the final regular season game, and the win would help propel Seton Hall into the NCAA tournament and wound up being Louis Orr's final season with the Pirates. Kelly Whitney, 21 points for the Hall with 9 boards. Donald Copeland scored the team's final 7 points, and it ended Pittsburgh's 16-game home streak, 65-61. Champion, how you play. Champion, a big sponsor for Big East basketball.
Paul Gauze celebrating big time on that bench. I remember Donald Copeland, who I saw walking around the Prudential Arena at halftime. He's in the stands. Quick play out of Jersey.
Mansfield's being guarded by Paul Gauze. High post bigs. Go down low to Sam Young. Ball fake. Post up. Well done. He totally out-muscled Hazel. No contest there. 17 for Sam Young. A 10-point lead.
And Sam Young just makes things look so easy when he scores the basketball. Just turn around. Another day on the job.
Here's Hazel. Oh, that's a killer.
And it's interesting because that's the same play that Blair got hurt on earlier with the hedge.
And a technical on Bobby Gonzalez. That was probably only a matter of time. Blair's foul. That's his second.
See right there with the hedge, and Blair. It's a tough call with the trip. You know, a lot of times you come out and you hedge and a guy trips over you. It's always your foul, or a guy's foot gets tangled with yours. Never liked that call. Never liked that.
It was not a play where the defender was trying to get an advantage.
Exactly. Exactly. An offensive player can use his foot, trip over you, and you can foul out of a ball game. Very, very, very difficult situation for a referee or a player.
The Fields at the line. 75% free throw shooter, 1 out of 2. 50-39. And it's a danger zone here for Seton Hall. They don't want to lose too much contact. An 11-2 Pittsburgh run.
I think Seton Hall right now has to find a way to get Hazel some better looks at the basket, and Harvey has to start to penetrate and use his abilities to get inside.
I don't think Mitchell has taken a shot here so far in the second half. Seton Hall in a danger zone to be sure. Garcia down low. Jump hook is good. John Garcia, beg your pardon. With the bucket.
And Garcia, you know, he's a capable scorer inside. Doesn't score a whole lot of points, but when he touches the basketball, he's shooting 63%. 4th in the conference.
Sam Young set up baseline jumper. Too strong. Rebound Biggs. Had it, lost it, regained, and he got fouled.
And down there in the jungle, down there in the paint, offensive rebound in the basketball is where the Panthers just killed. Just too many strong bodies that can crash the glass and just get you another opportunity.
We've reached a critical moment as Sticks Mitchell just picked up his 4th foul. It comes at 14:45, so now you're taking away one of the 2 long-range threats. Fields, triple, got it. 53-41 Pittsburgh. So Levance Field gives the Panthers their biggest lead. He's got 6.
And Fields is not a great three-point shooter, but he always seems to hit the big three-point shots.
Hit a couple big ones against Connecticut in that big Monday matchup recently. Here's Hazel. Never really got balanced up. Fields kept it alive. Garcia lays it up. Fields was trying to tip it to Sam Young. Brown up ahead.
And now this pace starting to slow down a little bit. More in favor of the Panthers.
They can start grinding you now. Fields jumps up in the lane. No rebound Davis. Mike Davis came in for Robert Mitchell. Sticks is out of the game with 4 fouls. Hazel. Put it up. Score the goal. 3-point opportunity for Jeremy Hazel. Big East All-Rookie team last season.
And that's where Hazel has improved his game. Last year, more of a shooter. You see him right here taking the ball to the rim, inside with the trees, and shooting that one on the way down, and still is able to absorb the contact and finish. Watch him shoot it on the way down. Gravity's catching him. He flips it up off the window.
Blair about to return for Pittsburgh. Hazel at the line. Good free throw shooter, 76%. Hazel had 20 points on 7 of 15 shooting in his last outing against South Florida. Last year in a game against Pittsburgh, 25 minutes he went 0 for 8, 0 for 5 from 3. Too strong on that free throw, and tonight Hazel with 16 points. Here's a steal. Gauze will shoot 2. Bobby Gonzalez saying, hey, wait a minute. Somebody must have said a magic word or done something. Why not tee him up?
And that was an interesting move by Gauze, because I think Gauze had a layup but tried to go up and draw the contact to get the and one.
So Gauze to the line, 71% free throw shooter. Be a 2-shot opportunity for Paul Gauze. We're a ways from some of the action. I didn't hear anything, didn't really see a lot, but you could see the Seton Hall reaction. Hey, tee him up.
Not sure what happened, but a lot of commotion down there on the baseline from the fans, the players, the bench.
1 out of 2 for Gauze, 53-46. This pace right to the liking of the Panthers. Fields being harassed as a good ball handler. Goes cross court to Brown. Keeps it alive. Sam Young's been murdered from that spot all night. Got a shooter's roll. Timeout Pitt. Shooter's roll for Sam Young. He's got 19 points. Trying to spark these Panthers, who have a 55-46 lead. Sam having a heck of a night. He's 7 for 10, and most of it coming from this range, right in a vulnerable spot in the zone. Pittsburgh starting to impose its will on Seton Hall here, 55-46. Tonight's Big East Coaches Spotlight is brought to you by Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest. We take a closer look at Jamie Dixon, the head coach of Pittsburgh. He's won 20-plus games in all of his 6 seasons since taking over for Ben Howland. The highest winning percentage in conference history. And now the Pittsburgh fans are looking for Jamie to get these Panthers beyond the Sweet 16. This is a team that a lot of people think has a chance to win the national championship.
One of the more talented teams in the country, along with UConn and North Carolina, Oklahoma. But I think they have all the pieces to make a deep run.
You mentioned Oklahoma. Good to see Blake Griffin back from his concussion. Great player of the year candidate naturally. Good to see that. Oh, bump and foul, no question about it. Davis never got set. Moving pick, foul on Mike Davis. That'll be his first.
I think the biggest thing in the shift right here is Pittsburgh's ability to slow the game down. Seton Hall not getting out in transition anymore.
Quick pop right side, drilling a 3 is Ashton Gibbs from West Orange, New Jersey. More than 100 folks here to watch this ball game. Holy mackerel, another technical. Now, I don't know if it was Gonzalez. My view was shielded from here. Bobby was up near the coach's box.
I think it was on somebody else on the bench. Not sure who.
Yeah, somebody on the bench. And if it's on Gonzalez, Bobby's gone, but
I don't think it was on Gonzalez.
I don't think it was either.
He pointed somewhere towards the middle of the bench.
Somebody, maybe one of the assistants. And Fields misses that one. So it said one of the assistants, it was either German player or Kevin Murphy, could have been Roderick Rhodes. We don't know. Roderick Rhodes, administrative assistant, but he was at the end of the bench, somebody in the middle of the bench. 12-point lead for the Panthers. Here's Harvey down the lane. Nice lead for Sticks Mitchell. Back in the game with 4 fouls. Garcia blocked by Blair. Challenged by Blair. Blair rebounds, and here come the Panthers. Fields gets a pick from Blair. Didn't have anybody open. Sam Young has been the guy tonight. Wanamaker layup, took it all away, missed it. And a rebound goes to Mitchell of Seton Hall.
And Seton Hall has to pick up the pace, especially being down. Nice shifty crossover right there by Harvey.
Eugene Harvey grimacing. Looks like he hurt himself. Looked like he strained his right knee or maybe his calf muscle.
Looks like it may be a cramp.
58-48. Hazel harassing Gibbs, who gets it across.
And you see Pittsburgh just starting to grind the game out, slowing the ball down. And
Garcia with numbers. Theodore threw it right to Gibbs. Big part of this second half. Got a double dribble turnover. Big part of the second half, John. Mitchell's had 2 shots for Seton Hall, and he's 0 for 2. That after having a big first half. Take a timeout. 11:41 to go here in the ball game. 58-48 Pittsburgh.
You're in.
Good stuff going on here in Newark, New Jersey. Jamie Dixon sending his #1 team back out onto the floor. Big East basketball, #1 Pitt against Seton Hall, along with John Celestin and our Big East crew. I'm Dave Sims. Glad you could join us. We have 11:41 to go left in regulation. Bench scoring, Pittsburgh throwing a shutout. 10-point lead for the Panthers right now. And biggest lead for the Panthers this evening has been 12 points.
And Seton Hall started out the game 5 for 8 from the 3-point line. Hazel was hot, sticks Mitchell, but since then, 0 for 9. Haven't hit any 3-pointers, and the game has gone down to a snail's pace, which really favors the Panthers.
Sticks Mitchell just 0 for 2. And let's see, a whistle. That's going to be an offensive foul. Garcia got out of control, and it cost Seton Hall a possession here.
And Pittsburgh is just so good at position defense. You know, they're not a team like Louisville or Seton Hall where they pressure you constantly. They just sit back in the paint. Everybody's in position. You beat one guy, there's another one there to help.
Wanamaker with Gibbs, Young, Blair, and Jermaine Dixon on the floor for the Panthers. Down low, Dixon too strong. Tip, Sam Young is good. Sam Young with 21 points. What a night.
And has Sam Young even broken a sweat? I mean, he's just a cool customer. Gets it done quietly. People talk about Blair, they talk about Fields, and sometimes, as great as Young is, he gets kind of lost in the sauce.
They go to Harvey up top. Eugene has not been scoring a lot. Boy, he beat Blair that time. Got under very nifty. Gets inside to beat Blair. 6 points for Harvey.
And I think Harvey can do that more. He's very elusive off the dribble. I think he can get inside, make some more things happen.
Here's Pitt into the front court. Ashton gives to Brad Wanamaker. High post Young. It's been open all night. Count it! Sam Young lighting up the hall. 23 points to match his uniform number. And he's got an opportunity for a 3-point play.
I mean, here is just basketball without even putting the ball on the floor. And most of Sam Young's points tonight have been in this foul line area where he just catches, turns, and shoots. No wasted dribble, no wasted movement. It's been a very efficient night.
24 points on 9 of 12 from the field with 9 boards, approaching a double-double. Sam Young. Deep jack by Hazel. Rebound Blair.
And that right there is not a good shot by Hazel.
And they missed. Seton Hall has missed its last 10 threes. Wide open jumper Dixon. That one won't go. Kept alive. Keep it right here. They've really taken Seton Hall and the crowd out of this ball game. It was a 36-31 halftime lead for Seton Hall. It was tied at 29. First half, we had multiple ties and lead changes. It was 39-37. And since then, it's been all Pittsburgh.
Well, Pittsburgh, they play so many guys. They're a team that's very deep. And you're looking at Seton Hall, a team where another steal right there.
Right, Gauze with the steal, but a foul on Sam Young. He tried to regain.
Seton Hall, you're looking at a team that goes maybe 6 or 7 deep, really. So a lot of guys playing a lot of minutes, and they start to wear down towards the end of the ball game.
And a key factor, John, continues here. Sticks Mitchell just 0 for 2. He's only had 2 shots in the second half. Number 23 for Seton Hall. Blair read that all the way. Blair with numbers. He's got Fields. Leave it for Blair. Look out. Quick hands by DeJuan Blair. Leads to a Pittsburgh breakout.
And many people don't know this, but DeJuan Blair leads Pittsburgh in steals per game. He's very good in post position at moving his body, getting around the big men, and getting his long arms in the passing lane.
Something else. Top rebounder in the club, #1 rebounder in the Big East. Goes to the line. He had 1 knock against his game. This would be it right here. Free throw shooting.
Watch him move his feet. Moves his feet, gets on the opposite side, and he's off to the races. And a nice little shovel pass right there, and he almost finishes it.
14 points, the biggest lead this evening for the Panthers. Make it 15.
And what Blair does with his lack of size, because he's a little undersized for a 4-man, he uses his long arms and his footwork. He's quick in the post, which is why he can give a guy like Hasheem Thabit and some of the bigger guys in the conference problems.
Boy, that was an education he gave Thabit in terms of the ability to use the body on that big Monday game a few weeks ago. Mitchell, just his 3rd shot of the half, he makes it. For Sticks Mitchell, he's got 15.
Sticks Mitchell, not a big guy, kind of thin, but understands how to use his body.
Tyrell Biggs in as Gauze. That'll be a foul on Gauze on senior night. Gauze, that'll be his 4th. And he is the defensive leader for the Panthers. He was in foul trouble early on. He picked up a foul 2 minutes and 18 seconds into the game.
And you look right here, he gets a piece of that hand right there. But, I mean, in the blink of an eye, Gauze can put his hands in and strip you of the basketball. I haven't seen many guys in the Big East Conference over the years with hands as quick as Gauze.
Seton Hall naturally has to gamble. That was their 10th foul. Double bonus in effect. Gauze will take a blow. 9:07 to go. Paul picked up 2 quick fouls in the first half. And that's a big part of the Seton Hall game taken away from it. They get you in an up-tempo scramble type of situation, get you out of your game. 9 minutes to go. 67-52 Pittsburgh. Mitchell up top. Knocked away by Wanamaker. Hazel got room, and he hits. 3-pointer for Jeremy Hazel, and a technical on Hazel. Holy mackerel, we got some quick tempos. Short rope here tonight.
And this is unbelievable. Not sure what he said or what was the reason for the technical, but you see Sticks doing a good job keeping his balance right there in the jumper for Hazel, but we weren't able to see what actually happened.
Well, he said something as he was coming up. It happened to our right as he was coming back up court. So Sam Young gets shooter's roll on the first one. Probably claiming he got fouled. And boom. He clearly said a couple of the magic words and got teed up. That is the 3rd tech against Seton Hall tonight. 1 against Gonzalez, 1 against the bench, and now 1 against Hazel. Full court pressure. 68-55. Dixon gets it across. Into the corner Fields. A 3-ball. No good. Rebound Mitchell. Mitchell down the lane. And a foul before that shot. It looks like it's going to be on Biggs. It'll be his 2nd. A little contentious here tonight.
A lot going on, and the crowd here in Newark, just not a good inbounds pass right there.
Dixon was fouled by Hazel. That pass is up for grabs, and for Hazel, that's his third.
And I really think for Seton Hall, what starts to happen towards the end of the ball game, and I know this from being a player in the Big East, when you start to get tired, your mind starts to get tired. You start to make decisions that you wouldn't normally make in the first half. And right there, a bad inbounds pass by Harvey, which I think is just fatigue.
Going back to your point earlier, too, Bobby Gonzalez playing with 7 scholarship players, and boy, it has taken its toll now. They had a very emotional first half, very much in the ball game, trailed by 5 at the completion of the first 20 minutes. Dixon takes 1 out of 2, 69-55. Seton Hall, they've got their top 2 scorers on the floor right now, but having a hard time getting Mitchell the ball, and Hazel has to take every opportunity he can and puts one up. Rebound goes to Wanamaker. Wanamaker ahead of the pack, takes it all the way, lost it. And what do we have? Keep it right here.
And the crowd here at the Prudential Center is not going to like that call. Everything getting tested. And Coach Gonzalez not understanding the call either.
Give it to Fields. Again, this is a Pittsburgh ball club coming off a loss Tuesday night at Providence, 81-73. Panthers picked 3rd in the Big East Conference in a preseason poll. Young down the lane, too strong, he got fouled. Garcia tried to stand in and take the charge. 4th foul on Garcia. So the fouls continue to mount for the Pirates. 7:41 to go here in the second half. Pittsburgh 69, Seton Hall 55. Nation's #1 team asserting itself here in New Jersey, 69-55. Bobby Gonzalez, it has been a long night. And if you're good at lip reading, right here he says something along the lines, I've never seen anything like this in my entire coaching career. It's been a tough night. Team's been teed up 3 times. Bobby's got 1.
Yeah, guys.
Hazel has 1.
Quick on the whistle tonight.
And one on somebody on the bench. So 3 technicals against the Pirates tonight. They've got foul trouble to go with it. John Garcia, their big man, with a bad knee. He's got 4 fouls. Robert Mitchell, one of their #2 scorer. He has 4 fouls. And Jeremy Hazel, their leading scorer, has 3. And Paul Gauze, their best defender, he has 4 fouls. And again, this is a team, as they look forward to next year with 4 incoming transfers. They have 7 scholarship players.
There's some big-time transfers. I talked to Coach Gonzalez, and he says, hey, you know, our second team really goes at the first team in practice. You know, Herb Pope, a transfer out of New Mexico State from Alquipa, PA, and Keon Lawrence, a guy who I've seen here in the local summer leagues out of Newark, New Jersey. Transfer from Missouri. Jeff Robinson out of Memphis, went to St. Patrick's here in New Jersey, and Melvin Oliver as well. So they have a whole crew of guys going to be suiting up next year.
Getting some size, too. 16 points, the biggest lead. Look for the trap. Seton Hall cut the lead to 39-37 with 3 minutes into the second half. Since then, 30-18. Down the lane, that was Harvey for the bucket.
And that's what Harvey has to do. He has to get inside. He's so good penetrating and getting to the rim and drawing and dishing. Has to do more of that. I think sometimes he just gets lost.
Wanamaker goes high post, Biggs gets it back. Wide open Sam Young. Steps into the 3, in and out. Hazel with the rebound. 71-57. Harvey takes it all the way, score the goal. Nicely done. So Eugene Harvey going to turn on the offense. He's the #3 scorer. saw him last Sunday at St. John's, and he did a good job running the show, but was not looking for a shot. Now he really has to look for it.
And sometimes it's tough for a point guard when you have scoring ability. You have to run the team. You have to run the show. But sometimes you have to take control of the ball game, and he splits the defense right there, takes it all the way to the rim.
So Young picks up the foul, his second. 71-60. 6:42 to go. Blair back in the game. Here's Fields, Blair, Dixon, Young, and Wanamaker for Pittsburgh. Theodore, Hazel. You got Harvey, Mitchell, and Garcia for Seton Hall. Fields is tough going down the lane. He can totally muscle Theodore going to the basket.
And the thing about Fields is he's not a jet off the dribble. He just understands how to get his body and his shoulder past you, and he's so strong once he gets inside the lane.
Compact 190. And you know from he can lean that body on it, can ward you off, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's different. You know, I played against a guy, Khalid El-Amin, who was somewhat similar.
Yep. El-Amin
may have been a little bit quicker off the dribble, but similar type of player.
Felt like a tank.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
El-Amin on the '99 Connecticut National Championship team. It took out Duke down at St. Petersburg. 73-60. Pittsburgh in the lead. They look for Garcia. Theodore. And a foul on Blair.
The Prudential Center.
About to get Wanamaker for the foul. I thought it was going to be on Blair. Wanamaker with the foul.
Prudential Center fans giving a sarcastic cheer right there.
Bring the Bronx cheer to New Jersey. Theodore, 77% at the line. Had 8 points in the win Wednesday against South Florida. Local kid from Englewood, New Jersey, by way of Patterson Catholic.
And if you're Coach Gonzalez, you have to try to get as much talent as you can out of this New Jersey, New York City area. You know, in my opinion, New Jersey has some of the top basketball talent in the country.
This part of Jersey where we are, the northern part of Jersey, is the most densely populated area in the United States. So Bobby Gonzalez waging a battle with Freddie Hill down at Rutgers and Norm Roberts. There's Sam Young again. He's got 29.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's like Sam Young's like a scarecrow. He doesn't move from the spot. He just stands there. He gets the ball, and he just shoots.
Well, the other thing, too, it's amazing he hasn't been challenged because clearly that has been the spot, the middle of that zone all night. He has had more free looks. Here's his Zelt deep curl. Gets it up. Back rim, nothing there. Wanamaker tie up. Ball's going to go to Pittsburgh with the arrow.
And if I'm Seton Hall, if I'm on defense, if Sam Young catches the basketball, I have to at least force him to put the ball on the floor. He has 29 points. He may have dribbled 6 or 7 times the whole night.
Great point. He has had free looks all night. Ooh, could have gone either way on that one. Because you saw the forearm come up from Fields. He could have let it play on, or he could have called it. Probably, a lot of times you'll see that, just let it play. This is the Big East. There's going to be contact.
Right. And you know, you can call that all night, but, you know, Theodore trying to put pressure on Fields, and Fields is just too crafty of a point guard for you to be able to pressure him and turn him over. But I think a little touchy call right there.
Dawes is back in. He's playing with 4 fouls. Theodore takes a seat. 76-62. Fields with 9 assists. Number 1 in assists in the Big East Conference. 7 lead changes, 5 ties in the first half. It's been markedly different here in the second 20 minutes. Been all Pittsburgh. Mitchell trying to back down, but Blair's waiting for him. Jump hook. Oh, and how about Fields? Fields got a piece of that tie-up. I thought that was going to be a foul. But Blair had the rebound cleanly. They call it tie-up.
How about Levance Fields showing us the hang time right here? I mean, you think he's dead in the water right here. He showed you the hang time with the contest, forcing sticks Mitchell into an air ball right there.
Here's Hazel with 4:46, looking for some space. Can't find it. Trying to go baseline, and Wanamaker called for the foul. Third foul on Brad.
And that's an area where Hazel has to improve. A great jump shooter, getting to the basket at 6'5", being able to get inside and dish the basketball as well as finish at the rim.
8 team fouls on the Panthers.
And he has improved that since last year. A little more room to go for next year.
Fields gets by Hazel. So Hazel tonight for Seton Hall with 19 points. He had 12 in the first half. Jamie Dixon calling a timeout. 4:23 to go here in regulation in New Jersey, Newark to be exact. Golf fans and club pros, registration for the 2009 ESPN National Golf Challenge is already underway for courses and teams in the gross, net, and new 55 and older senior division. For more information, log on to ESPNGolf.com. Dave Sims, John Celestin, and the Big East crew here at the Rock, the Prudential Center in downtown Newark, remaining on the schedule for the Big East tournament. It's at 2 weekends away from now. Number 2, Connecticut. Look for Connecticut to move up to number 1. That is going to be a battle next week at Pittsburgh. Connecticut and Pittsburgh. Louisville's got Marquette, Seton Hall, and West Virginia. Pittsburgh with the Golden Eagles in Connecticut, and Marquette, Louisville at Pitt and Syracuse.
And look at Marquette's schedule. I mean, losing Dominic James and then having a schedule like that is just very, very tough.
Murderer's row there. You're down with your point guard, one of your leaders on your ball club. See if Buzz Williams, the Golden Eagles, can do anything. Here's Wanamaker with 4 on the shot clock, and he gets it to go.
Wanamaker.
79-62. Wanamaker. He's got 8. His first bucket here in the second half.
Wanamaker has been improving. Every game that I've seen him this year, it's been getting better and better out of Philadelphia.
Sam Young got a piece of that. He got a piece of that shot by Sticks Mitchell. Sam Young, your scoring star tonight with 29 points, 10 rebounds. There he is again. Going glass. Won't go. Put back is good by Blair. So DeJuan Blair with the basket. He's got 9 all here in the second half. He's got 10 rebounds as well.
In Pittsburgh, you see right here again, Sam Young just catching and shooting, and Blair right there to clean it up. But Pittsburgh, you know, the way they play it, they're like a boxer. They just go to the body. They go to the body the whole game. They keep banging you, hitting you. And you think those hits aren't taking a toll on you, but at the end of the fight, you just wear down. Next thing you know, boom, you're out.
12th 20-point game this season for Sam Young, the top scorer for the Panthers. He's 7th in the Big East. Regular season wraps up next Saturday on the Big East Television Network. Syracuse Orange travel to face the 10th ranked Marquette Golden Eagles. Your game time is 2 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Central. Make sure you check your local listings. That's next Saturday, Syracuse 10th ranked Marquette. 2 p.m. start time, 1 p.m. Central time. Check your local listings. Hazel challenge, blocked, and fouled. Fouls on Dixon. And we will take a timeout. 3:24 to go here in regulation. 81-62 Pittsburgh. We've got tonight's Big East game has been brought to you by PNC, leading the way. Good look at Newark, New Jersey. A gorgeous Prudential Center, the centerpiece of the brand new Newark, New Jersey. Dave Sims, John Celestin with you, the Big East crew. Very tight game first half. They had 7 lead changes, 5 ties. Very emotional game for Seton Hall with Pittsburgh, the #1 team, coming in. Paul Gauze, the only senior. And a lot of things went right, but Pittsburgh's done a great job negating shots for Sticks Mitchell.
Yeah, they've really taken him out of the ball game in the second half. First half, he was doing a good job catching it, facing up, taking it off the dribble. But he didn't really get a lot of touches in the second half. And he was in foul trouble as well.
It really hurt him. Just about all the significant players in foul trouble for Seton Hall. Garcia, Gauze, Hazel. Harvey, I think, is the only one who has not been in trouble. Hazel with that 20 points, make it 21 as he'll shoot 3 after attempting a jump shot from beyond the arc.
And I think next year for Seton Hall, especially with the way that Coach Bobby Gonzalez likes to play, pressure basketball, switching defenses, the added depth will really help them be a contender in this conference. But, you know, it's just hard to play at that pace the whole game when you only have 7 or 8 guys out there.
Put back by Mitchell. Rebounds the Gauze miss. 81-66. Mitchell steals. Tees up a 3. A little short. Rebound to Wanamaker. Lost it again. Re-lost it, and Fields will take over.
Look at the ball handling right there by Fields.
Brooklyn, New York. Wanamaker. Dixon. And right to the basket. Hazel back the other way. Rebound to Wanamaker. And pretty much put a stamp on this baby right now with 2:35 to go. Sam Young left alone again.
And if there's somebody you don't want to leave alone, it has to be Young. He's been by himself all night long.
Dixon set up for 3, and he hit it. Make that a 2, beg your pardon, a 2. So Dixon with the bucket. He's got 11. 85-66. This was a 36-31 Pittsburgh first half lead. Hazel drives the baseline. He's looking for a call. Again, that's the Big East. There's going to be some contact. Now a foul on Harvey. Sam Young, one of the better nights he'll have. And John, he was outstanding, and he took advantage of everything Seton Hall gave him.
I mean, he just was silky smooth tonight. The jump shot was just, I mean, this is like Groundhog Day right here. Every day they just throw him the basketball. He turns and shoots, shows you he can finish in transition. Sam Young, one of the more efficient players in the conference.
6'6" junior out of Clinton, Maryland, by way of Hargrave Military Academy. 29 points, 10 of 14 from the field, 10 rebounds. That's his 12th 20-point game.
And let me tell you something, that shot freak,
it's the best.
All the jumpers that he's hit tonight, maybe a guys aren't in his face because they don't want to leave their feet, because he can really get you in the air with that fake.
Go by in. Really challenge that defense. Inside 2 minutes to play, 86-68. So how far do you think this Pittsburgh team can go if they and everybody is healthy? Blair had a little bit of a problem with the knee tonight, but how far do you see this Pittsburgh team going?
Oh, I think they can really go deep. I mean, I can see this team being a Final Four team. You know, Levance Fields is healthy this year. Blair, you know, he's a bully in the paint. You have a guy like Young who can score, and you also have a guy like Dixon who can shoot the basketball. So you have all the pieces, and you have depth. You have guys who can come off the bench and spell guys, and you know, defensively they're a tough team.
Strong 8 they've used tonight. Hazel trying to get a little bit of room. They pay a lot of attention to him, even up 20 points. Hazel runner down the lane, got it to go. So Hazel with 25.
And Hazel's going to be a big-time scorer in this league. And when he learns to take better shots and how to and to start to get himself in better positions, and he has some help coming in next year, he's going to be even more dangerous.
Number 2 scorer in the Big East behind Luke Herringody of Notre Dame. So final minute of play. And Jamie Dixon and the Panthers going to get it done again. This will be the 29th win in 38 games for a Jamie Dixon coach team as we look at Hazel's numbers. The 29-9 under Jamie Dixon after a loss. That is a remarkable statistic.
I'm talking about a coach who understands how to make adjustments, who understands how to coach after a loss and change some things up.
Standing ovation for Paul Gauze, the lone remaining senior for Seton Hall, his final home appearance. Nice ovation from the crowd here in Newark, New Jersey. Jamie Dixon emptying his bench. Wanamaker with the free throw. 89-70 with just under a minute to play. Ryan TC in the game now, and Tim Fry. Rozier Robinson in the game as well, number 35. To the Big East, how good a year do you think the Big East can have in the NCAA tournaments? Obviously, there's going to be a good number of teams, 7, 8, 9.
Well, I definitely think that the Big East, you know, when you're talking about Pittsburgh, you're talking about UConn and Louisville, who is kind of flown under the radar a little bit because they had some troubles earlier in the year. Louisville can come at you with a lot of different guys. You know, and there's some other teams that may sneak into, you know, Villanova is a very good defensive team. You know, they've done well this year, I think, above expectations. And Cincy's playing well, so a lot of teams that can really do some damage in the Big East tournament.
Hizell leaves. He had 25 points. Mitchell with 17, but only 4 in the second half. Eugene Harvey with the bucket, 89-74. Another steal.
And sometimes when you're talking about the NCAA tournament, you're just wondering if the league, you know, beating up on each other, you know, grinding these games out, playing against big-time teams every night, injuries. You just wonder if the conference teams are going to be burnt out towards the end of the year.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I think that's a possibility, but I know one thing from having done a tournament for a lot of years on radio. These teams come in so battle-tested that other teams can't match the intensity of Big East teams, particularly the upper echelon teams. Right. And even the mid-range teams, 89-76, final 10 seconds.
There are a lot of conferences around the country that have similar talent, but from top to bottom, the Big East Conference is by far the best.
Final seconds tick away as Pittsburgh rebounds nicely from the loss Tuesday night. A very convincing 89-78 victory over the Seton Hall Pirates. Heck of a game by Jamie Dixon's club to come back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, they didn't come out in the first half with the energy, but Sam Young was able to really impose his will on the game, and the Vansfields did his thing. They just did a tremendous job tonight.
Once again, final score, Pittsburgh 89, Seton Hall 78. For John Celestin and our entire Big East Network crew, I'm Dave Sims. Make sure you join the Big East Network next Saturday for more hoops action as Syracuse travels to face number 10 Marquette. Game time is 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 Central. For more information, log on to ESPN+. Proceeding has been an exclusive presentation of ESPN Regional Television, a worldwide leader in collegiate sports. So long, everybody, from the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey.
Pittsburgh upping their record to 26-3 on the year, 13-3 in the Big East. As we welcome you back inside our Big East postgame studios, Gary Apple sitting alongside former Providence coach Tim Welsh, the former Big East Player of the Year Charles Smith, and yes, the smile has returned to Charles's face. His alma mater back in the win column. They were impressive in that second half, Charles.
Yes, they were impressive, and they found their niche. They played Pitt basketball. They started to play aggressive defense. They were contesting shots. They were closing the gaps, not letting them drive as they did in the first half, and they did exactly what they had to do to win.
I thought they imposed their will on Seton Hall in that second half. They were more physical, tougher in the second half.
Well, they knifed through Seton Hall's press. They did a good job of attacking and didn't pull the ball out when they had to go to score, and they didn't turn it over in the second half. And they could play tonight without a top-level game from DeJuan Blair, which is important as they move down the stretch.
Pittsburgh out-rebounding Seton Hall 40-19 in the game, so they dominated the glass in this game as they get the win, 89-78. Let's get into how this broke down a little bit, and what a game for Sam Young. I mean, he was just tremendous for Pittsburgh.
Well, I'm sure Jamie Dixon and the coaching staff spoke to Sam Young and said, listen, we need you to step up and be a senior in all circumstances. We can't rely on a sophomore, DeJuan Blair, to carry us every night. Sam Young's got to be there, and he has the type of game to do it. Medium-range jumper, he stepped in, found the seams of the zone, he got out in transition, and, of course, he defended as well.
He had 29 points to lead everybody. Look at Jeremy Hizell, the circus shot to try try and keep the Pirates in the game. But then 3 technical fouls on Seton Hall.
Well, one on Bob Gonzalez and then one on Hazel, which happens to be his 4th of the year, which just blows my mind. A player could get 4 technical fouls. You know, keep your mouth shut and play. And then an assistant coach got a tee as well. So a little craziness out there in the middle, at the Rock tonight.
It certainly didn't help them. They seemed to get a little bit frustrated. Blair got hurt in the first half, Charles, but he was strong in the second.
Yeah, you know what? He got bumped in the knee. He went down for a little while, and he had to shake it off, and he came back, and he played really well. He played his normal self. He rebounded. He played tenacious, as we saw in this clip, and that's what they need from DeJuan Blair.
9 points, 10 rebounds. Again, he went out just about 2.5 minutes into the game. He was in and out of the locker room in that first half. They need him on the floor. We've seen that throughout much of the year. I want you to clarify one thing for us here, because the bench technical, Bobby had gotten a technical, and then they got a bench technical, and normally that goes to the head coach, which would have meant that he would have been ejected, but that didn't happen. So take us through why not.
Well, when a head coach gets a technical foul, it's determined a Class A technical. When the bench, any personnel on the bench, whether it be assistant coach, a player, a trainer, a priest at the end of the bench, God forbid, gets a technical foul, that's a Class B technical foul. 1A, 1B doesn't offer an ejection. 1A, 2Bs does, or 2As would offer an ejection. So tonight they steered clear of that, but they still, with Hazel, that's what upsets me as a coach. Yep. You can't have your best player getting technical fouls about, that's his 2nd in 3 games, now 4th on the season. He's too good a player. Just play the game.
Seton Hall falls to 6-10 in the Big East on the season. Charles, Pittsburgh bounces back. Jamie Dixon, 29-9 all-time now after losses. Got his team back after the loss to Providence. How big was this for his team moving forward?
Well, I think it's huge. I mean, the bottom line for the team is they don't get too high on their victories, and they don't go too low when they lose. They understand, they try to keep it at an even keel, and they push each other to compete. And that's what they did. They got over the hurdle, they got over the loss, and they're back in the stride of where they need to be.
3 other games in the Big East on this Saturday. A big one for Georgetown down in Philadelphia, taking on Villanova. They can't afford to lose at all from here on out. Coming in, they had lost 9 of 12. Jay Wright and company looking for a positioning in the Big East tournament, which is coming up. Chris Wright to Greg Monroe. Charles, the big fella, running the floor.
Yeah, we all, at 6'10", the way he gets up and down the floor, he's a prime prospect for the next level.
Second half, Nova down 5. What about this? Should this have been a foul? No call on Scotty Reynolds.
Well, I'm not sure the offensive player deserved a foul there. I mean, it looks like there's contact, but certainly he came into the defense player. Defense player was avoiding the contact. Good no call.
Reynolds anticipating, getting out, making the steal coast to coast. Nova back within 4, but DeJuan Summers beginning to heat up, and this is a guy they need to heat up.
Absolutely. He stepped up today like a leader. He has to be in the next 2 weeks, or else Georgetown will be in the NIT or put the balls up.
Summers had 16 points in the game, the little runner in the lane. And then Dante Cunningham, Charles, the big fella, can step outside. He's got that mid-range jumper in his repertoire.
Yeah, Dante Cunningham, we've seen it all season. That 12 to 15, 16 mid-range shot, he's been knocking them down all season long. You got to play that.
Got Villanova back within a deuce, but look at Chris Wright, the killer crossover.
Killer crossover, but seal the D. Too easy late in the game. You got to make him drive and kick.
Corey Stokes trying to keep Villanova in the game from way downtown from Broad Street. Nova down by 2, and so they've got a foul here, but they don't get a foul. Is this inexcusable?
It is, and they'll look at that and say, hopefully it won't happen again when it's do or die in March Madness.
Hoyas get the win, critical win, 56-54. It's their 6th win of the Big East. They've got a very strong strength of schedule, could help them. Let's hear from the head coach, John Thompson III.